related to how it might interrelate with some other grant money from other agencies. So I took a look at all of the applications that were submitted to the county, both the Part 1 and Part 2. Part 2 being ones that were started in 2008 and are in the second phase of the process, and the Part 1 being the ones that came through the last cycle here early in 2009. I put together a brief memo for you, and then I have a kind of full out color coordinated breakdown of information there. So briefly I wanted to start by saying it was my conclusion that there in the middle of my memo on the front page that projects could be at risk in two main ways. One where applicants have received grants from agencies such as DCNR and they need a local match or in some other way they've got problems with their grant money that they've received that they need to move forward in an expeditious way or else they're going to have problems. The second one under 1B there would apply to a situation like North Lebanon Township where they've got applications in with the state right now, and the state agencies that work with us on the county comprehensive plan have indicated that they will give priority to projects that have been blessed by the county through our grant process to receive local funds. In essence, we'll receive priority consideration from the state because we've indicated that these projects are important to us. Using that North Lebanon example, they applied to DCNR last year, got turned down for money. They reapplied this year. So first of all, they'll probably get a little better consideration because it's their second time around. And if we would give them the grant money that they applied for, that also would give them priority and move them up the consideration chart. So to give you kind of an overview of how that can make a difference, we're mostly talking DCNR money here since there's a lot of park projects in this process. Last year, there were $44 million awarded by DCNR in state grant money for 316 projects. $44 million awarded, but $124 million applied for. Generally, they average somewhere around 700 applications a year, so less than half of the applications were approved last year. In their spring 2009 round this year, they got 645 applications for $100 million. So while there was an award of $44 million last year, they're expecting to award about $30 million this year. So we're down about 1/3 in recreation money with about the same amount of interest from applicants. So applicants who don't have support from the county or don't have a way to work their way up the chart, way up the ladder in terms of priorities are going to have a real difficult time getting funding. So it was my conclusion where we're dealing with DCNR especially, and on the other projects there that I took a look at, that I think it's the appropriate time to release some of the county grant money. I tried to give you some recommendations specifically about that, and on the two charts that you see at the end, I tried to use a red, yellow, and a green indicator of three types of actions that I'm recommending. The green being, and I'm referring to the block on the right-hand side, the green being where I'm recommending that you give an approval letter to the project and that we award funding. The yellow being they would benefit from an approval letter right now, such as North Lebanon's case, where if they had an approval letter, it would move them up the rank of priority, but they really don't need any money until such time as they would possibly get DCNR grant funds. And the red being people that I've talked to that are not ready to move forward right now. They don't have any grant applications pending that are critical. There's no reason to be awarding the money at this particular time, and we should consider that at some time in the future. So to see the financial implications of that, the second page of my memo, I did a totaling of the amount of money there on the right side that I'm recommending for awarding right now, and that comes up to a total of $89,170. That would be out of the 2009 expenditures, except for the very last one, which is Myerstown Comp Plan. And I've got an asterisk there because not all of that money will be spent in 2009. That would drag into 2010 as well. And I also did a tabulation of what's the value of all these different projects. Some of them are acquisition, some of them are development, but what kind of value could we get if we injected $89,000 worth of county money into these? And I tabulated it up, and it's $974,027 worth of projects. So in essence, less than $100,000 of county money, we could help make $1 million worth of projects happen. So that's pretty much my overview. On these big sheets, all the information at the left, 6 or 8 columns is information you have seen before. The 2 big columns on the right is the information I've developed based upon the phone calls I made to all the applicants, and I was able to talk to at least one person out of every applicant there. And I less than $100,000 out of the $750,000 that's been set aside in the bond issue. That would be the extent of expenditures in 2009, and we'd be 2 years into the 4-year program that we had in mind. The other thing in the big picture, when you look at the state, everybody's aware of their financial woes, but I think state money is going to continue to dwindle. I've been told that their contribution to their employee pension fund is going to spike in 2011 or 12. Their billions of dollars of stimulus money that they've been receiving is going to run out in the next couple of years. So, in essence, if we don't get these projects up and going with state money that's assisting us now, and we push them back a couple of years, I don't know that state money is going to be there anymore to help, and we're not really going to be able to leverage state money with this county money because it just won't be available. Of the numbers, you'll see there were some people said, we found some more money, we don't need as much as we asked for originally. I think there's a case or two where South 6th Street was one that gone on contract with Mark's Construction to do that.
And what's the other one?
Number 9, the South 6th Street Playground.
I wonder if problem improving those two.
I agree. I'd like to say thank you. I think you did a wonderful job creating an easy, readable chart and colored chart, prioritizing it and things like that.
Thank you.
And I do know that you're right, that a lot of these projects need the letters of approval in order to move forward because they're in a catch-22.
Yeah.
Basically, they can't borrow the funds or make settlements or whatever they have to do without the letter of approval from the county.
Well, the other thing I really want to say is we publicized this program. I was the spokesperson on your behalf out there, in essence, advertising and marketing this program. And while we made no promises to anybody, I think we did build up expectations. On that Spatara Creek project, there's a timeline with regard to settlement. So I know that that's the urgent factor there, not so much loss of grant money. Significant funds from other sources.
Well, that's another reason that I have to wonder why we would be
I tend to be leery when they ask the county for the majority of the money kind of thing, but this is a case where they did obtain a lot of other money, and certainly you cut the request in half during the application process. So we're at, I think a sensible amount of money there.
So we are
For North Lebanon and South 6th Street to move ahead on.
Could I just interject and clarify? North Lebanon has 2 projects, so make it
The
clear the
sewer
project.
sewer.
Thank you.
What about sewage?
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?